Namaste. Today I am going to read the part 4 of Ramayana. Send Rama to forest. Few days passed. Sri Rama enjoyed the days with Sita. Bharata and Shatrughna were away from Ayodhya. They were staying with Yudhajit, maternal uncle of Bharata in Kaikeya country. Lakshmana always followed the footsteps of Rama. Dasharatha, as he grew old, wished to hold Yuvarajabhishek of his eldest son Sri Rama in order to delegate gradually all the responsibilities of the Kausala kingdom from his shoulders. He summoned Vashishta and other elders and informed them about this plan. He told them he has decided to hold Rama's coronation at the earliest. He also told about this to the three queens. Kausalya, Kaikeyi, and Sumitra were delighted, and they all decided to see Rama with Sita as crown princess by his side. The preparation for the Abhishek went well. The city was decorated. Bharata and Shatrughna were away. Next morning was the time fixed for Abhishek, but it was not possible for Dasharatha to fetch them from Yudhajit's place in time. However, preparations were complete. The ceremony was about to take place next morning, but the entire situation was changed because of Mandara, an old woman who was jealous of Sri Rama. Mandara was a maid servant of Kaikeyi. She was hunchback. She was brought by Kaikeyi from her native place. Mandara entered Kaikeyi's room and spoke to her. It seems you are in merriment. It is because Rama is being made a king? Mandara, what more news I want to be more pleasant than this? Rama is my favorite, Kaikeyi replied. Ma, have you ever thought of Bharata? When once Rama becomes king, Bharata becomes a servant. What about you then? The rest of your life becomes waste. Mandara started poisoning Kaikeyi's mind. Do you know that Rama loves Bharata? That's only a show. Especially after he comes, the master will not care for Bharata. Your son has to watch the house, replied Mandara. For what? What do you suggest me to do? Remember, once Dasharatha was wounded in the battle between Devatas and demons. Your quick action saved his life. Then he granted two boons to you. As he was pleased, you didn't ask anything then. Now the time has come, claim both the boons. What should I ask? Asked Kaikeyi. Use the first boon to get the kingdom to Bharata. Then the second, ask him to send Rama to forest for a period of 14 years. Mandara, asking for Bharata's kingship is nothing wrong, but where is the necessity to send Rama to forest? Rama, if he stays in Ayodhya, he will not allow Bharata to rule the kingdom peacefully. Look, there is no time. Dasharatha is coming to meet you. Just insist on both the boons. There is no other way to safeguard Bharata. Mandara thus said and left the palace. After a short while, Dasharatha arrived and inquired about her well-being, but Kaikeyi behaved as if she had gone mad. She threw all her ornaments. She didn't welcome the king with the usual smile. Kaika, my favorite, why are you so dull? What made you become enraged? Asked Dasharatha. Stop it! You have done injustice to me. By proclaiming Rama as the king of Ayodhya, you have hurted Bharata and me. I don't allow you to do this, said Kaikeyi. Kaika, what are you talking rubbish? Are you not happy with Rama becoming king? I hope you do remember having granted me two boons. I am claiming them right now. I want my Bharata, my son, to be proclaimed crown prince. This is the first boon you have to grant. The second boon is that Rama has to undertake 14-year Vanavas. Let him be sent to 14-year exile to the forest, replied Kaikeyi. Dasharatha found Kaikeyi adamant. She never changed her mind. Dasharatha collapsed. Raghu family, keep up the promise. At the cost of life, I expect it from you, Kaikeyi confirmed. Dasharatha was not in a position to speak anything more than he fell on the bed unconscious. The news reached Rama. He didn't delay even a minute. Soon he heard the news. He approached his father and said that he would keep his promise and proceed to the forest. What a fate it is! It was the day Rama had to be crowned in the royal dress, but he wore garments made of tree barks. He bid farewell to all the elders and informed all of them that he was leaving Ayodhya and then he would return only after 14 years of Vanavas. To his surprise, Lakshmana also followed him. Rama went to Sita's apartment to say goodbye to her. Alas! There he saw Sita getting ready for Vanavas. Sita, why are you wearing garments made of tree barks? I am proceeding to the forest, as my father has ordered me to do so, said Rama. I am also following you. I shall be ever with you. Where you are, there I am, said Janaki. Janaki, forest life is not that easy. It is much painful. Wild beasts move always there. Demons attack. You are the princess. You are grown up in a palace. Can you bear all such hurdles? Asked Rama. When you are with me, they are nothing. Let me share, said Sita. Rama was unable to dissuade her. From this decision, he left Ayodhya with both Lakshmana and Sita. The whole city of Ayodhya was in distress. Rama consoled Kausalya and Sumitra. The people of Ayodhya felt that it is important to live in Ayodhya in Rama's absence. They also decided to accompany Sri Rama in his exile, but Rama asked all of them to bear with the situation and allow him obey his father's instructions and not to set up another Ayodhya in the forest. The people obeyed Rama and returned to their duties. Sri Rama, Sita and Lakshmana began their exile. So hope you guys enjoyed the story. The next part will come in the next video, and give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon for more notification, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.